welcome to Reed's Reads, Spider-Man Crawl Space Edition. Please check us out on the SpidermanCrawlspace.com. Well, everyone, here we are at the end of September, so it's time to review Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley's with a little bit of Humberto Ramos' Amazing Spider-Man's 5 and 6. So let's get to the pros, starting right with issue 5. The conclusion here to the two Spider-Man stories actually works very well. Something that's always been the problem, and I really like how Nick Spencer spells this out, is that with the responsibility on Peter, there are times where we are responsible for everything that goes in our life, but there's a point to where we can't feel like we gotta be guilty over everything, that we do sometimes have to do some things for ourselves to make our lives as prosperous. Otherwise, we go nowhere, or we're constantly running into issues. And I like how he spells that out about how it's more of Peter Parker aspect that really makes who Spider-Man is, and really Peter is Spider-Man. Spider-Man might have the powers and a lot of the joy and the abilities, but Peter might also have those responsibilities most, and it was because of that, not just the guilt from the death of Uncle Ben, but the person of being who Peter Parker is that makes Spider-Man. So the remerger works really well, and I do like how this storyline went pretty nice with the conclusion with the Tri-Sentinel and the Robot Master and Mendel Stromm, but also a little bit more with our mystery person here in bandages who's still manipulating things and trying to get everything set with Spider-Man, because that leads really good into issue number 6 here, when of course finally we get to Fred Myers, which is really nice how Peter actually got Fred unknowingly to steal the device he needed to remerge him and Spider-Man back together. But I think this is really interesting because what happened is, even though Humberto Ramos does the artwork in here, and it's not as strong as Ryan Ottley's, which is one of my cons, is that he's able to show really who Fred is, which is a really nice sense of dramatic irony. Those wondering what dramatic irony is when the audience knows something the character's done. Because why Randy, and to a point Mary Jane, really say that Fred's not as bad as Guy is, we see pretty simply Fred was always looking out for himself. Yes, he might do some moral choices, but Fred Myers has always looked out for Fred Myers. And I really like how they really throw pieces here. Nick Spencer not only shows he's a Spider-Man fan, but he throws a lot of things right here at the crawl space with Spider-Man in Jeopardy at the bar with no name and all the pieces that are going on. And I really do like it. Small little cons, though, are, as you know, the little buildup with Kraven the Hunter. We were kind of seeing it a mile away. So when it's finally revealed at the end of issue 5 that Kraven's the mysterious hunter, it's been going on in the background with the Savage Land, it's not much of a revelation, and why Nick Spencer does do some nice stuff with both Black Ant and Taskmaster getting rescued by whoever their mystery person is. It's starting to show a little bit more that they were more there for the Lizard since they captured the Vulture, and we're seeing a lot more of the Sinister Six technically getting put back together. And it's a nice little mystery, but you're really wondering about this, how the timeline is jumping between things, because over here with Boomerang, we're starting to see all that issues that happened with the Free Comic Book Day where he made the deal with Kingpin, and apparently whatever that was, Kingpin's not very happy when Fred basically tells him to go jump in a lake, and he puts the bounty on his head at the end of issue 6. So there's some interesting mysteries going on here, but we're kind of having a little point here where we're seeing some point where somebody like Boomerang at this point in his life, especially what's happened the last couple of years, especially with the same writer with Nick Spencer, that this conjunction that anybody trusts Boomerang in general. Though I do love the card game. It's a nice throwback to Superior Foes of Spider-Man. So it's really nice. Pros are very good. Cons, like I said, a little move from Ryan Ottley to Humberto Ramos is a little off, as well as the fact that we still are having some things with at this point in time that nobody just doesn't trust Boomerang to do anything because he's always looking out for himself. So you think some people would remember that. As well as a little bit of the mystery Kraven was kind of a big we saw it coming. But otherwise, I'm giving this an A-. Both stories are really nice. The conclusion of the two Spider-Mans is well done. More on the mystery villains, really nice. And I really love what they've done with Mary Jane. I mean, there's just such a nice piece with Peter and Mary Jane. I know Nick Spencer is building it, so we'll see what goes on with Fred Myers' Boomerang, because I'm really wondering if when this is all said and done, is Fred still going to be their roommate with Peter knowing what some of the stuff he got over, or will this leave him going out the door and then Randy and Peter having to find a new roommate, and maybe Randy blaming Peter for Fred leaving? But it's too early to tell, and we got a lot more going on with the mystery villain coming the end of the year. So with that, everyone, I will see everyone later. Please check us again at the crawl space at the SpidermanCrawlspace.com. Also look for us on Facebook and Twitter. We are out there, and we would love you to go ahead and click and follow us there. So in the meantime, everyone, I'll see everyone on the crawl space.